Nutrition 101, a big picture approach. Things should be as simple as possible, but no simpler. Albert Einstein. When people are looking at what to eat, they tend to get caught up. We're in a information super age right now. You've got the internet, you've got smartphones, you've got libraries, books, magazines, countless resources flooding in info all the time. The problem comes with sorting it, what to do with that. In terms of nutrition, you're constantly getting bombarded with calories, grams, ratios, fats, bad fats, proteins, good sources, good carbs, bad carbs, glycemic index, superfoods, vitamins, minerals, etc. All that can be very overwhelming if you haven't been around it for a while. So hang with me for a sec. I want to break this down in a very forest, not tree style for you and kind of get you on the right track. So first off is overall intake. Energy is measured in calories. The amount of calories you take in versus the amount of calories you burn will determine on if you're going to put weight on or lose weight. That's the broad overriding principle, but coming down below that a little bit, we need to think macronutrients. So your macronutrients are your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. As kind of a measure of density on that, protein has 4 calories per gram, carbohydrate has 4 calories per gram, fats have 9 calories per gram, and then alcohol has 7 calories per gram. You need all of these things, except alcohol, that's optional. In moderation, that's fine. But you need protein, carbs, and fats in order to lead your best life, active, healthy, etc. There's a large number of fads, quick fix diets, etc., which will significantly restrict one portion of that. The current phase tends to be cutting out carbohydrates. You go back a couple years and they were trying to cut out fats all the way. But most foods in nature are designed with all 3 components. Man is designed to eat all 3 components. So let's go back a little more. A good starting block would be try and eat about 4 to 6 small meals a day, and you're going to want balance in each meal. And that means protein, carb, fat source each meal. Try and get your foods from as least processed of source as possible. For example, in a protein, if you took a steak or a roast, that's much healthier for you than a hot dog. Going back a little more, there are vegetarian options, using whey protein, for example. Depending on your strictness, eggs are a great protein source. Any of the meats that, again, aren't highly processed, the sandwich meats, the hot dogs, those tend to have a lot of nitrates. Coming into carbohydrates, avoid anything that you have to open a box to get to a bag to unwrap. So stay away from the cracker aisle, the chips, things like that. What you're going to want to do is get them from good whole sources. So that would be any of your whole grains, your potatoes, corn, rice, and again, least processed is best. So brown rice is better for you than white rice. Coming on to fats. Fats have gotten a bad rap because of their calorie density. Remember, they've got 9 calories per gram. But that said, fats are incredibly good for you. Your body needs them to make cell walls, to produce sex hormones, so testosterone, what guys are always after. If you don't have enough saturated fat in your diet, you're not going to produce the optimal amounts of testosterone. But you want generally your fats to come from pretty good sources of that. That would be nuts, avocado, flax oil, coconut fat, and even some of the, the meat, fat, the butter isn't that bad in moderation. What you really want to avoid is any sort of fat that goes into a baked good. Those are absolutely toxic. The fats that you use to make French fries, hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, etc., those are literally toxins in your body, so avoid those at all costs. So now you've got your big 3. You've got your protein, your carbohydrates, your fat. What you want is to combine a little of those in each meal, and again, space out your meals throughout the day, 4 to 6 meals. The reason for that has to do with how the sugar gets released into your system. So if you're eating just 1 or 2 big meals a day, you're getting this mass energy spike, and your body takes up all the nutrients it can at one time. The rest of it kind of stores as fat. Whereas if you're giving it a more sustained energy level, your body can take that in and use the nutrients it needs with a lot less of the excess going towards fat. Coming down a little bit further, once you've got your building blocks, your basics, again, you're eating protein, carbs, fat at each meal, you really want to get those vitamins and minerals. So add in all the vegetables and fruits you want. The only 2 fruits I would avoid slightly, and not even avoid, just moderate, bananas and grapes tend to be a little bit more sugary. So those are great right after a workout, but not as your go-to fruit. You want your go-to fruits to be a little more a little more heavy in fiber, things like apples, for example. Apples, berries, pretty much all the other fruits, and all vegetables are a complete go. Things like potatoes and corn, those count a little more as a starch, and I would count those in the carbohydrates, not in the vegetable source. So let's rewind this, take it back to the very beginning. We're going to get protein, carb, and fat at each meal. We're going to add in fruits and veggies as much as we can, and then we're going to eat smaller meals 4 to 6 times a day, all things in moderation. Once you've got that down, then you need to look at where you're at and what your goals are. So you can keep this same basic principle, and if you want to put on some more muscle, make each of the meals a little bit bigger. You need the calories to grow. If you're trying to lose some weight, you still want to eat frequently. That's a very common misconception. People trying to lose weight commonly skip meals, but you still want to eat frequently. You just want to reduce your portion size so that your overall calorie intake is less than you're putting out in a day. That's nutrition in 5 minutes. Thanks a lot for watching, y'all.